Yeah, we have 2 minutes, Kay. But I think we're broadcasting live na in Facebook. Yay! I'm so happy. I figured it out. Hi, good morning, Vanessa Espejon. How are you? Alam mo si Vanessa ay isa sa ating mga suke, Karen, for Positive Workplaces and also under Philippine Society for Talent Development. Welcome, Vanessa. Hi.
Hi, Vanessa.
And to everyone who's here, hello. Welcome to our welcome officially to Positive Insights episode 2. Maria Cecilia Rosario Nacional, hello, welcome from DPWH. Hi, Ana Centeno, mabuhay. For people who are already online in Zoom, please put your chat configuration to send to all panelists and attendees para when you start providing insights, everyone will be able to read it. Tsaka all of us will learn from one another. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen now. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Like, what do you see in my screen? Positive
Yeah.
insights.
Yes.
Only
Episode
the
2.
slides, right? Pero you don't see the You don't see the what do you call this?
Yeah. Slide
Like my
lang.
chat. You don't see my chat naman.
No.
All right, cool. Okay, so 9:59. Okay, so we're
Yeah.
gonna officially start now. So again, welcome everyone. We now have around 27 attendees in Zoom. And as I see it in Facebook Live, we are streaming live in Facebook via our Facebook page. So that's facebook.com/positive workplaces ph. So if you want to share this to your friends, alam mo yon, spread the positivity and all. Please do so. Feel free. Okay. Yeah. See. All right. So my name is John Baluyot, and I'm your host today. I'm the CEO of and co-founder of Positive Workplaces, and I'm also my volunteer work is also the as a president of the Philippine Society for Talent Development. Mukha lang siyang full-time, no? pero that's actually volunteer work for me. My full-time job is as CEO of Positive Workplaces. So let's start, no? Since it's already 10 o'clock. This is the second episode of Positive Insights. We're going to talk about why mindfulness is empowering amidst the pandemic. Why are we doing Positive Insights ba as a webcast or as an episode? So Positive Workplace kasi, we have a mission of co-creating positive cultures to enhance the well-being of the Filipino workplace. Right? Alam nyo, sobrang daming toxicity right now around. 'Di ba? Like, all you have to do is to go to social media and you will see so many news about the rising rates of infection, how there's so many people losing their jobs, how there's so many political mudslinging, left and right. And nakakalungkot kasi um sometimes you feel like hope is being taken away simply because of a lot of these things that are outside of our control. So what we intend to do with Positive Workplaces, at the very least, is to start a movement where, number one, people will contribute less to toxicity. Kasi hindi natin alam eh. Like for example, kahit na kami na yung nagsimula ng Positive Workplaces, I may also be contributing to toxicity, not just in social media, but also in my immediate circle. And and I want to know, 'di ba? We want to be more educated, we want to be more equipped with information para hindi tayo makakontribute dun sa toxicity. Kasi sayang eh. Sayang na mas nagiging productive sana yung mas maraming tao if there were less toxic environments or workplaces around. So that's the first objective, no? The second objective is, this is your dose of positivity at the start of the week. Kaya siya naka-Monday 10 a.m. Um, in this case, for those people who actually have the power or are in places of authority, how can you start positive cultures as leaders? 'Di ba? How do you actually prompt it? Hindi naman kasi lahat merong ganong kakayahan. Pero ikaw, baka meron kang kakayahan na ganon, then let's see. 'Di ba? Let's see through these sessions or our future learning sessions how you will be more equipped to do so. So, just to clarify, so this episode of Positive Insights, this Positive Insights web is a webcast and not a webinar. It's a 30-minute conversation with a subject matter expert. In this case, Karen. Hello, Karen. Uh, um, And it's your dose of non-toxic positivity for the week. Ano ba yung non-toxic positivity? Well, Karen will talk about that in a bit later. Pero in general, ito yung not all fluff na type of positivity. Yung hindi mo sinasabi sa tao na kaya mo yan, period. O kaya yung, okay lang, buti nga, hindi ganito yung sitwasyon mo period. Alam mo yon. So, this is basically being able to acknowledge that there are really bad things out there that are beyond our control. And it is within ourselves how to equip us so that we can be positive in terms of approaching it. All right, so that's a second reminder. So since this is a webcast, we will also not be issuing certificates for this one. Pero we have 2 free learning sessions this week. So we have high quality relationships tomorrow, and we have why givers succeed. So that's a lesson on compassion. That's going to be on Thursday, and those will have certificates of attendance. And if we still have time today, we will be able to take in some questions from the audience. Ayan, mabuhay. So we now have how many people? We now have 33 people, Karen, in the Zoom box, right? Audience will be on mute. Couple of reminders. We are broadcasting live in Facebook now, so you can share this. You just go to Positive Workplaces page so you can spread the word. If you have questions, you put all of them in the question and answer tab, right? So meron kayong question and answer tab in the function of Zoom. Pero pag comments naman o kaya insights nyo or opinion nyo, put them in the comments box. Para it will be easier for me as a host and moderator to give the question to Karen. Tapos you can ask them anytime. Okay, you can ask them anytime within the duration of the session. I will find the right moment to ask it. Right? Para hindi kayo mas stuck doon sa kakaisip kung ano ba yung question nyo. Pag meron na kayo, just shoot it in the Q&A tab. Alright, so without further ado, let me now introduce our speaker. So si Karen is a very good friend. Pareho kaming debater sa UST. And we go a long way back. She is PAP Certified Specialist in Counseling Psychology and the 6th place board top-notcher in the 2006 board licensure for psychology. She's also the co-founder of Child Fam Possibilities Psychosocial Services. And she has been in professional practice for 19 years, providing counseling and therapy, psychological assessment, training and development, mostly for educators. Right, so Karen, hello. Can you say hi to everyone?
Hi everyone. Good morning.
Good morning, Karen. Or so you can call her Karen, pero I think you'd like to you prefer to be called Kay, no?
Kay, yes.
Yeah. So, hi Kay, welcome here. Ayan. Yan, no, binabati ka na good morning Kay sa ating chat. Okay, so without further ado, let's start. Kasi this is naman the reason why people came here, di ba? And I want to start with this quote by Viktor Frankl, since we're going to talk about mindfulness. Sabi ni Viktor Frankl, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. Sobrang matalinhaga nito, no? Napakaaga. Monday morning. And I want to start not just with this quote, but a very important question in relation to mindfulness. Siguro Karen, as you discuss what mindfulness is in a layman's perspective, let's answer this question. How can we use mindfulness to check if we are okay, especially now na sobrang daming pahirap na binibigay nung crisis at saka nung madaming external factors that are contributing to our toxic lives right now. Sige, please Karen, go ahead.
Yes, okay. So mindfulness, this is really, some say this is a habit or a movement, but actually this is just a state of being, the things that we do. But to put it in context, it's really being 100% present in the moment. No? So kung ano man yung ginagawa mo, you are neither stuck worrying about what happened in the past or worrying about what is yet to happen in the future. So mindfulness means you are really putting 100% attention to what is happening at the moment, including what is happening inside of you. So you are attending to your feelings, to your emotions, to your thoughts, without really needing to act on it, no? Hindi mo kailangan mag-respond. You don't need to make a judgment about what you are feeling or thinking. Rather, with mindfulness, what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to have that quiet time to be yourself, to be someone okay, I have feelings and they need not necessarily be judged as right or wrong. So to your question, John, how can we use mindfulness to check if we are okay? Um, Quieting down and being focused on what is going on around us is actually the key for stress management and mental health management. Our bodies kasi is communicating with us on a daily basis. Um, when we are stressed, for example, stress is not necessarily bad, no? It's your body's way of telling you na okay, no? Nauubos na yung iyong reservoir of resources for coping with the problem. So you need to do something about it so you could replenish and renew. But if we don't quiet down, no, usually we are in a very, very busy mode. Lalo na ngayon, no, we have a crisis, we have a pandemic. So minsan our mind is filled with what am I supposed to do next? No, ito na si Judith. Ano ba yung mga hindi pa nangyayari? What are my anxieties? So when we are thinking and focusing on those, minsan the signals of our body, no, that we're getting irritated, that we are starting to get sad over certain things, that we are losing energy or can't concentrate, di natin napapansin. So mindfulness is actually a good way to really listen to your body so that you can check, no, okay pa ba ako ngayon? No? So the spectrum of mental health, are you already in the reacting stage? Meaning, are you still okay, pero you're already popping signs here and there na medyo hindi mo na kaya and you need to rest. And that's very important because the sooner you help yourself, the better and the faster you can bounce back.
Right. Thanks, Karen. Alam mo, ang ganda ng sinabi mo about how this is one of the most effective ways by which we manage stress. Siguro, i-ano natin siya. Let's try to put it on a more concrete sense. Alam mo, ang dami kasi ng tao ngayon na feeling nila mindfulness is very fluffy. Alam mo yun, yung parang, hindi, ano naman yan, parang, is that like the yoga thing? O kaya, yan ba yung parang, like, very Buddhist way of looking at life, etc. And you know, we also live in a very masculine society. Alam mo yun, yung parang parang sinubukan mo mag-step back, tapos you talk about all of these positive psychology things. Baka mamaya ma-judge ka kasi sinabi, ano ba yun, sobrang sensitive mo naman. O kaya, ano ba yung bago mong...
sobrang, corny, ganun.
Corny mo. How do you respond to that? I mean, how do you let this new school of thought in, knowing that that is the type of culture that we really have, no?
Yeah. Well, it's very important to know, no, that mindfulness is one of the evidence-based means of helping yourself manage stress, anxiety, depression, and even trauma. And when we say evidence-based, this means that research has consistently proven na you just have to apply it and it actually works. So if you think about it in that context, wala namang mawawala sa atin, if we try it. If what you're doing currently is not working and you are experiencing distress, you are experiencing overwhelm, it doesn't hurt, no, to put a little of this in your system. When you think about it, it's mindfulness is really very, very simple. It's something you're already doing every day. One of my favorite mindfulness strategy is just counting 1 to 10. No, you just have that moment. I call it the 10-second count. No, you just close your eyes every morning, count slowly 1 to 10, and then you don't entertain any other thought except I am grateful for this moment right here, right now. Now you take just 10 seconds to just be grateful for the moment. And if there's a new thought that interferes, you go back to 1 until you have that full 10 seconds, that you are just experiencing your gratitude for the moment. And we're doing that, no? Kaso hindi lang siya deliberate, hindi lang siya intentional, but it's a very, very nice way to ground yourself on what is still good, no? Your positivity, in spite of the many things that are happening na medyo nakaka-toxic nga sa atin or nakakabigat.
Correct. So yung for example, that yung sinabi mo now, count 1 to 10, tas think of how grateful you are about where you currently are. How's that helping in checking yourself? Kasi ito yung, di ba, yung important sa first question natin di ba? How can we use mindfulness to check if we are okay?
Yeah.
Kasi that's naman gold, the money question, kumaga, that's gold.
Yeah.
How do we still know if we're okay?
Yeah, well, it's important to know that anxiety exaggerates. That is biological. That's ingrained in us. So what happens is, namana natin yung fight and flight syndrome. No, when dati ang mga ninuno natin, ang kalaban nila mga wild animals. So they really, really try to scare you so that you can move. No, you can either fight or flee whatever is threatening you. So it really maximizes the threat of the situation. What mindfulness does, so when you start looking at what you're grateful at, you get to have perspective na it's not as bad as it looks like, even if at first blush na parang sobrang bigat na siya. To give you an example, no, sometimes, di ba, nasa-stress tayo kasi iniisip natin, for example, okay, I am going to lose this project, kunyari, because I'm working from home, I'm doing so many other things, I can't focus on this particular task that I need to do. But if you quiet down and you say, okay, I'm grateful for this moment, what do you have in that moment? Minsan naisip mo, no, in this moment, I have a job. I'm struggling with it, yes, no, but I do have a job, and the reason why it's stressful for me working from home is because I have a family, no. Bakit ako nasi-stress na may, kunyari, for my context, no, my little kid is interfering with me trying to come up with the presentation? It's because I have a child, and that is something that we can focus on, no. No matter how bad things are messy because life is happening. No, things are messy because you are moving towards something, and that's a little better than being stuck, no, being stagnant and not doing anything at all.
Nice. Thank you so much. That's so loaded, no? And you know the other thing that's loaded is in this question kasi there's that phrase, if to check if we are okay, right? To check if we are okay. Can you give us a whiff of how do people like sige, mindfulness or not mindfulness? How do people exactly know if they are okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You can think of symptoms of stress in different categories. No, so you have your emotional. So when you have your irritability, for example, your anger outburst, that can be a signal that you're already getting stressed out. You think about even spiritual resources. So minsan feeling mo, no, I don't like what I'm doing anymore. This has no meaning to me anymore. That can be a signal that you're no longer okay. You're burned out. When you think about physical symptoms, no, maraming sumasakit, no, masakit ang likod, masakit ang kamay, masakit ang ulo, no, you get gastric pains. These are things na minsan di mo napapansin, no, pinalalagpas mo na lang. Especially if you're a type A personality, no, you really want to be on the go and you want to be productive. Minsan, the emergency mode is actually our default mode, and we don't notice the signals until we experience a major physical illness or burnout already. And especially for this crisis, kasi pag crisis, what happens is it triggers your body's emergency mode. So sometimes you're just running on adrenaline. Akala mo, kaya ko pa, no? So kahit hindi ako matulog ng mga more than 24 hours just to finish this, I'm still on top of the world. But actually what is happening is your body is getting the very last deposit it has of energy to give you. And if you don't still calm down or relax or do a stress management strategy, what happens is you crash, no? You burn out. Um, and the difference between normal stress that you manage and burnout is it's really hard already to come back to your usual once you've had a burnout, and the impact physically on your immune system, on your mental health, no, the burnout is sometimes the precursor to depression, to anxiety, and it's harder now to bounce back. So the earlier you checked and the way you see na para okay, this is not my usual self. No, this is not my healthy frame. The better for you.
Grabe, tinamaan ako doon sa ano. Tinamaan ako doon sa you just keep on going without seeing that you may actually reach a point wherein you're just running through adrenaline. Kasi kahit minsan, 'di ba, dahil sa sobrang in the mood tayo, tapos dahil sa sobrang daming pressures, we just go for it even if it's midnight na. We feel that we're being energized. Pero tama ka, baka mamaya yung energy na yun is just running through adrenaline. And that's already the last deposit. And sabi ni
Yes.
Ana Centeno dito, Kay, sometimes we are doing a lot of things. we tend to forget to check ourselves.
Yes.
Diba? Totoo yun. We
Yes.
tend to forget to check ourselves. And that I want to transition that to our next question. Kasi this next question is the bigger part, diba? Like in the
Yeah.
face of uncertainty and helplessness, which this pandemic is which this pandemic is bringing us, how can we use mindfulness in regard that situation?
Yes.
The current toxic, the really toxic world that we are in right now. How do we use mindfulness for that?
Okay. First, no, mindfulness will ground you into a way of thinking that is a balance already of the logical side of you and the instinctive survival side of you. When we are in emergency mode, so I'll go back again to the fight or flight. No? What happens is when we think we are threatened or we are afraid of something, our body instinctively shuts down different parts of our system that they don't think is necessary in an emergency, and that includes logical thinking, critical thinking. Kasi nga syempre, di ba, nung unang panahon, if a tiger is about to attack you, you can't really overanalyze everything, you have to move. So what happens is in the present moment, unless we quiet down, all our reactions, all our responses, no, to this sense of helplessness is really instinct, and not really tempered by logic, no. So hindi ka nakakapag-isip ngayon, no, nung wide range of possible solutions that you can still do, the wide range of choices that you can still make on a daily basis about things that you can control pa or not. What's being taken from us in this pandemic actually is our control, because we can control a lot of things that are happening, no? From where the infection will prop up, we can control how our companies are doing financially or what kind of changes that they need to implement for it to survive, no. These are things that we cannot control. So um pag hindi ka nag-quiet down, what happens is nauuna agad yung rash, no, decision making that you have to do and the big emotions that come with it. So if you quiet down, no, if you just take a moment to just really say, okay, I'm gonna not react muna to this. Many things actually can wait. Parang we have a perspective na pag merong problema, we need to immediately do something. But you can actually wait it out. And when you wait it out, you'll be surprised, no? Parang, okay, that idea pala I can do. This solution pala is possible for me. So it removes that sense of helplessness that you have. Na, okay, meron pala mga bagay that I can control and it may not be as much as it used to be, but it can be significant enough to get me through the next hour or the next day, even if not the next month. No, so you get to have a little of that parang graded or paced way of coping with the situation.
Right. And tama, sobrang pasok na pasok din yan doon sa sinabi ni Viktor Frankl, no? That there seems to be a lot of strength and power left in contemplation. Um, and I wanna zoom in on your response, Karen, about when you said that our decision making will be more rash because it's if we don't become mindful or if we don't step back or be still for a bit and think about it on longer. Um, why is it like that? Why is it that when we don't become still or when we don't contemplate closely, the automatic reaction is that we may make rash decisions that we eventually might regret, 'di ba?
Yeah, there's a biological and a psychological basis to that. No, I think the term being used is called the amygdala hijack. No, the amygdala is that's part of your brain that takes over, and it's the instinctive part. No, na nanggaling no sa ating background nga, no, how we handle stress and the stressors from before. So when you're afraid, your logical side shuts down. So what happens is, yun nga, hindi ka kaya makapag-critically analyze. But also because anxiety and all emotions that are unpleasant, the purpose of that in your body is actually to narrow your attention. So, in a good way, no, in a positive way, okay yun. Kasi pag na-anxious ka, ang sinasabi ng katawan mo, stop for a moment and focus on this, on the problem at hand, on the fear that you have, so that you can act on it. However, if you just focus on that anxiety, you do not have the view, the full, di ba, zoom out view of everything pa that could help you. Hindi mo nakikita yung other resources that are possibly present. So what mindfulness does is, and this is the nice scientific way about it, no? It actually triggers that part of your body, no, the parasympathetic nervous. I'm sorry if I'm being very scientific, no, pero at least we can see why it's evidence-based. Nati-trigger yung part ng katawan natin to relax, right? And when we relax, we can zoom out, and then wala na tayo dun sa mode na narrow your attention. We can now look at the bigger picture and, okay, take every factor that we need to consider in mind before we make a decision. So, pwede yun as simple as, di ba, hindi naman kailangang malaking problema. Sasagutin ko ba tong asawa ko, di ba? Sasagutin ko ba tong kasama ko sa bahay because they're saying triggering things? Or do I like step back and look at, okay, other things that are going on? He is also stressed out. We both have problems at hand. And I can look at those factors now, and that will temper my response and make it something na more functional and helpful in the long term.
Right, right. Thanks for that, Karen. So we've been talking about the why and a bit of how of mindfulness, no. Given the crisis, given like there are people who have lost their jobs, or there are people who are being pushed naman too much into their jobs, and there are
Yeah.
people who are also pressured by family, by what's happening around them while they're working from home. Can you give us a couple more mindfulness exercises or quick mindfulness activities that you think could work? Kasi you gave us one na kanina, count 1 to 10, and
Yeah.
then just think of something that you are most grateful for. Siguro
Yeah.
give us a bit two more or something para people
Yeah.
will be able to get a quick tip on those things.
Yeah, you can do something that would engage your senses. So for example, no, you do something that would engage your sense of taste. No, meron tayong mindful eating. Ayan, no?
Yeah.
So, dati, di ba, I don't know if you could relate. No? Ako, minsan nakakalimutan ko, nakapagkape na ako sa sobrang I'm into the moment, and I go by routine na hindi mo na-appreciate. No? Mindful eating, for example, is you just sip your coffee, you take that moment, not think of anything else, focus on all the sensations that coffee brings you, di ba? Kung gaano siya kasarap the aroma, and really just take that moment to enjoy that food. So that's a mindful exercise because it grounds you on what you're doing at that exact moment. Use your sense of hearing. For example, you can focus really on a music that you like, instrumental music, for example, and then not mind anything else, and just like really 100% appreciate. Sa Tagalog, no, ninanamnam mo everything about it. And do that, no? If it's a sense of smell, then some people appreciate essential oils and aromatherapy and things like that. What it does actually that's helpful, mukha lang siyang sabi mo nga, no, very, very touchy-feely. But actually, what you're doing is you're training your mind to quiet down from your initiation. Kasi tayo, hindi natin, di ba, if you say, stop thinking about it, that will not work, no? The more you say, parang, stop thinking about a white elephant, you will think about a white elephant. It doesn't work to tell yourself, stop thinking about all of this. So what you need to do is really to train your mind to strategically distract itself and then focus on something. And when you do that, no, yung mindful eating, yung mindful way of doing things, you're training your mind to say, okay, I can set this problem aside for this particular 10 minutes that I need to enjoy my coffee. And from that little practice, what happens is you can apply now into bigger things. So if your boss, for example, is demanding na because you're past the deadline, you can like, okay, I can temporarily set aside muna all the anxiety that triggers, para no, I can focus on what I need to do. And I will have that moment pa na I get to calm down and be positive and be more strategic about things. So you use your senses. That's a mindfulness technique. Breathing exercises are also helpful. Not everyone is aware no na, di ba tayo pag huminga, hingang malalim, pansin mo your chest expands and your shoulders go up. That's actually the wrong way to breathe. That's actually a stressful way of breathing, that you're adding stress to your body. The way to breathe mindfully is, so you inhale slowly through your nose, and then when you inhale, dapat yung chest mo doesn't expand. So you take that focus moment. So you can practice by putting your palm on your chest. No? Hinga kang malalim, nas mabagal lang, tapos hindi dapat siya gagalaw. And then exhale through your mouth. That's the moment when you release, when you exhale. Baligtad, no? So you can inhale and then hold it maybe for 3-4 seconds. And then, no? So dun mo siya lalabas. So, no? That takes some getting used to. But actually, when you do it that way, your mind is forced to think about doing it, and then it helps you calm down more, no? So you do your breathing also. That's a good mindfulness technique. The other is the body scan, no? So yung last na lang na very nice then is you close your eyes, you scan your body from head to foot, and then you notice everything, you know, if something is aching, if there's a tension there, and you just willfully ask it to relax, or even parang just let it think, just pick asset, no, why is it hurting, what does this tell me, no? So for example, bakit masakit yung balikat ko, no? Sometimes psychological yun, parang ang dami ko na kasing pinapasa na burden, no? And that talking to yourself, that talking to yourself and recognizing where you are, what you're feeling, what your status is, that's very helpful. So it can ground you in better understanding yourself and where you are in the moment.
Correct. Maraming salamat, Karen. Ang bilis, no? I mean, that's already 30 minutes. Can you imagine
Oh
that?
wow.
I know we're just chatting. Sige, siguro we can stay for probably 2 or 3 more minutes to see if we have some questions from our audience. And while they're thinking about their questions, syempre I'll use this moment to also inform everyone that apart from positive insights, we actually run a series of webinars. So majority of those are free. Yung mga webinars na hindi free, pambayad lang namin yan ng Zoom. At saka nung mga other subscription namin sa Google Suite. Pero if you look at, for example, for this month, no, all of the four webinars of the series out of the 6 are actually free. And 2 of them are happening this week. So one is high quality professional relationships. That's tomorrow. Strengthening professional connections during the COVID pandemic. And then on Thursday naman is Why Givers Succeed. Ito yung gusto kong attendan nyo talaga. Yung Why Givers Succeed. Alam mo, it's so funny because this talks about compassion and I'm not a very compassionate person. Pero when this program was run to me, as in like when we were prototyping it, I realized why it makes sense that when people start to give, people start to become generous. It has a huge impact not just on them, but within the radius by which the generosity was shared. So, and syempre, crisis mode, maraming tao ang gustong maka-receive ng tulong dahil nga sa nangyayari to everyone. And of course, we also have promos. Ito yung pinaka-promo natin for this month, no? Na buy any two, get one for free. So pag bumili ka para sa 3 tao, instead of paying 1,000 pesos, you just pay 333 pesos. That's a very good deal. That's a very good deal kasi webinars at the minimum are around 500 pesos. Okay. Let's take in now this question from Oh, from Anna. So ang question ni Anna is how can we register? Sige. I'm just gonna go back to the screen. No? Um, how do you register? Ayan. You just either scan the QR code, Anna, or meron kayong nakikita sa ilalim na tiny URL. So you can just type those tiny URL for you to be able to register, and then you will get the actual registration form from Zoom. Yeah, that's how you can register. All right. Sige, since we don't have any other questions yet from the tab, feeling ko baka nanibago ang ating mga tao or baka nahihiya pa sila, Karen. Um, why don't we ask you for some parting words for the audience now that you have graced us with Positive Insights episode 2? What do you think people should really know as a final thought when we're talking about mindfulness vis-a-vis crisis?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind really is that if you're not feeling all right, like you're anxious, you're stressed, you're even grieving for the losses that comes with the pandemic, that's actually normal. I think it's very empowering to to affirm yourself for being a normal person, for reacting in this manner because things are really happening that are outside of our control. So when you think about how something like this, diba, the last time something as massive as this happened was a world war. If you're not okay, then you're fine, you're normal, no? So it's not you, it's everyone. So from that, no, if we cannot judge ourselves, so that's still mindfulness, not judge yourself for what you are feeling. That is a good first step for managing your mental health in this pandemic.
I was on mute pala. Wait lang. I'm just gonna take a photo for this memory because I'm really happy that I did this with you, Karen. For people who
Me
don't
too.
know, for people who don't know, Karen and I go way back college. We were actually debate teammates, and I'm just happy that we are here right now and we're sharing all of these blessings to people. No, um, I always tell everyone who's watching us either on webinar or webcast that yung journey natin to try to detoxify cultures in the country, that's not an easy undertaking.
Mm,
Kasi marami doon nakatanim eh. Diba? You know naman that when cultures are formed, when they're
yes.
embedded, they're so hard to change. Diba? The manana habits, the culture of crab mentality, the chismis culture. Ang daming mga kultura who's stopping us from reaching our true potential and our highest amount of productivity and inspiration, mainly because they're already there. And this is our way. This is our way to slowly involve people na, there are a lot of really nice cultures around that can help us. And we can't do it as individuals, no. We need a community to do it. So if you want to get more of these types of doses, you can follow us in Facebook. That's facebook.com/positive workplacesph, or in our group where you can see also in the or you can also see in the screen. So Karen, maraming salamat, and siguro you can talk about a bit what you do with Child Fam before we say goodbye, para people will know how to approach you or where to approach you if in case they want to go for your service.
Okay, and thank you then, Jan, for the opportunity to share with you in this webcast that you have. Um, for mental health needs, I'm part of a center called Child from Possibilities Psychosocial Services. So right now we're offering telehealth services, so we can offer counseling, psychotherapy, psychiatric consultation, and you don't have to have a mental health condition to have a consultation. But we cater to all spectrum, no, from normal life issues to clinical conditions like depression and anxiety. So you can check out our Facebook page, just search Child from Possibilities, if you'd like to book an appointment. So this is also via video conference, so it can be easily accessible wherever you are.
Ayan, maraming
Yeah.
salamat. And we received some final chats no from our audience. Sabi ni Maria Cecilia, thank you very much Kay and John for this episode. It's really hard to detoxify culture. Um, particularly in the public sector, but this episode would help me influence other people in my organization. And
Great.
Maria Cecilia, that's really our intent. alam mo yon, the webinars or the webcast, they're not supposed to build skill. They're supposed to inspire thought, inspire action. So if we are inspiring you to do that right now, that's the objective. We are doing our job. So maraming salamat for attending. Cheryl, Reyes, and everyone else in our audience, maraming salamat for attending. Please register to our session for Tuesday and Thursday. Those are free, and we would be very glad to accommodate you as we promote and create this bigger community for positive cultures for everyone. Karen, maraming salamat, and say hi to Erin for me.
Thank you.
Bye everyone. You have a
Bye,
great week.
everyone.
Have a great week ahead.